So in this video, I'm going to tell you how I got rid of my belly fat and finally developed visible abs. I spent most of my life being overweight and out of shape, and honestly didn't think that I would ever have abs or look good. I thought that getting abs and being in great shape was reserved for people with really good genetics or athletes or movie stars. But over the last several years, I've realized something that's very important, and that is that literally anybody can get into great shape. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do it, even if you're just an average guy like myself. So I remember feeling pretty hopeless about getting into shape. I was locked in a cycle of starving myself and then binge eating for literally years. And I remember being super motivated when Monday came around, and I would do so good on the diet up until Friday, and then the weekend would come around and I would totally just undo my progress. And I would look in the mirror the next morning and feel a lot of guilt and shame. And you can only do that for so long, that cycle of starving and binging, until eventually you kind of just feel like the whole thing is hopeless. And I remember getting to that point. And so the reason I'm telling you guys this is because if you're somebody who's in that situation or can relate to that, then I understand what you're going through. And I've also felt that same way before. But the good news is that the transformation that you're looking for actually isn't as far away as you might think. As long as you're able to implement a few very simple but important things that I'm going to share with you, then you can actually change your body a lot quicker than you might expect. Guys, I know that there's a lot of different videos on YouTube that you've probably watched. I've seen them too, and I know that they kind of just offer the same basic generic advice. But in this video, I'm going to tell you what actually worked for me personally, because I'm just a normal dude. So I feel like if I can do it, then you guys can also do it too. So here's what actually worked. So the first thing that we're going to do, guys, is the next 14 days, the next 2 weeks, I want you to cut out all junk and overly processed food from your diet. This would be all fast food and things that are on the shelves that come in bags and wrappers. Anything that's not whole food or single ingredient food, we want to eliminate from the diet for the next 14 days. Over the last several years, what I've found is that it takes about 2 weeks to eliminate the junk food cravings from your diet. What would happen to me is I would eliminate the junk foods, but I wouldn't make it to that 2-week mark, because within those 2 weeks, you can expect to have cravings for junk food. I would make it like 4 to 5 days, and then I would have junk food and I would keep the cravings alive. So what I found over dieting for the last few years is you simply need to get to about that 2-week mark. Once you make it 2 weeks, the cravings significantly tamper down. It's almost like a threshold where your brain finally reacclimates to not being addicted to processed foods. The next thing I want you to do is lift weights for 30 minutes 3 times per week. We want to make sure that we're building our muscles stronger. And because we're fixing our diet, we also want to make sure that we're taking advantage of the healthier foods that we're eating by utilizing those nutrients to build our body stronger. Now, you don't have to go crazy. 30 minutes really is not that long at all, and you only really need about 3 times per week. You would be surprised how much progress you can make by simply going 30 minutes 3 times a week. Especially if you're new to the gym, you will see crazy progress actually really quickly. And then lastly, guys, what I want you to do is go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day. Sleep is so underappreciated in the fitness community, but I will tell you that sleep is literally like the natural lifter's steroids. There was a study that showed that the difference between getting 4 to 5 hours and 7 to 9 hours of sleep is literally like the difference of a mild steroid cycle. So what I want you to do is make sure that you are now prioritizing your sleep by going to bed at the same time every single night and waking up at the same time every single morning. This will help fix what's called your circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is your body's internal clock that allows your body to know when to release certain hormones to either wake you up or make you tired. When you go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time every day, your body gets into a rhythm and knows when to release the correct hormones at the correct time, which will all together help your mood and help your performance and help your recovery. Now, if you followed along with that plan, you'll notice that it's a pretty strategic set of rules, and that would be intentional because the main pillars in fitness is your diet, your activity, and your sleep. And so what we've done with this plan, by eliminating processed foods out of your diet, by working out 3 times a week, 30 minutes per session, and by going to bed and waking up at the same time every single night, we have fixed or covered the main important pillars in fitness. And that's it, guys. The last thing I want you to think about, the last rule I want to implement, is almost the anti-rule, which is I don't want you to think about anything else. I don't want you to overcomplicate this. I don't want to make this more difficult than it needs to be. Just focus on those 3 things and do that for the next 4 to 8 weeks. Give yourself a good month to 2 months to just have these habits be a daily part of your routine. And I can guarantee you that you will see substantial changes in the quality of your life, in how your body looks, and you will be able to burn away the fat, get abs, get lean, and feel great. Because ultimately, looking back on it now, I would say that those are the main things that really just helped me actually stay consistent and get out of that cycle that had me stuck for years. And the truth is, they're very simple things. Sometimes they don't always feel easy to do, but it's simple. And to me, simplicity means sustainability. So let's keep it simple, guys, but make sure that we're doing those 3 things every single day. Now, the other thing that I also struggled to was general accountability. And maybe you're somebody who benefits from having accountability. And if you're one of those people, then I just started a school called the Aesthetic School. It's my fitness coaching program. When I was building it, I basically said, okay, how can I make the most straightforward, simple process to get somebody from out of shape and overweight to jacked and lean and Greek god status as quickly as possible? Literally just a step-by-step tutorial. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave that link down below so you can check it out if you want. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Now, if you found some value in this video, make sure you give me a like and hit that subscribe button. But I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.